Welcome to the Shelby Sports Show. I'm Stephen MacDonald. We've got a lot to cover with this episode. We'll go over a lot of the past week's action in basketball for both Eisenhower and Utica. We'll touch on some hockey a bit later and wrap things up with a very special Christmas segment as well. But to start out, let's get to the basketball. First off, we have Eisenhower at home to begin their 2023 season against Warren Woods Tower. Here's those highlights now. The Eisenhower boys varsity basketball team opened the 2023 season at home against the Titans of Warren Woods Tower. The tip is up and controlled by the Titans to begin play. A Braden Booza transition bucket makes it 6-2 Eagles with 3:40 to play in the first. 2 minutes later, Eisenhower swings the ball around, leading to an elbow jumper from Booza. It's 11-4. Then in transition, Preston Crum finds Hayden Bills for the lay-in and one. He would miss the free throw, but the second chance basket is good from Trey Richardson. At the end of one, it's the Eagles by 11. 3 minutes into the second quarter, the runway is clear for the layup by Alex Varner. It's 25-11. The Eagles would get a pull-up three from Ian Patterson and a layup from Booza, and all of a sudden, it's 30-11 with 4 minutes to go in the half. A last-second heave sends us to the half, 33-19. Middle of the third quarter now as Preston Crum knocks down a pair of layups, pushing the score to 42-21. Tower would put up a shot at the quarter buzzer but can't get it to fall. After three, it's 44-25. Crum on the break scores it again just over 2 minutes into quarter number 4. Then Hayden Bills with the fancy finish makes it 53-36 Ike with 2:25 to go. One last try by the Titans before the final buzzer comes up wide, and Eisenhower wins the opener 58-38. Eisenhower Eagles getting the big opening night win against the Titans of Warren Woods Tower. Our next game that we went out to was the Utica Chieftains at home just a few days later, taking on L'Anse Creuse. The 3-0 Utica Chieftains varsity basketball team hosted the L'Anse Creuse Lancers on Thursday, December 7th. The tip is up and we're underway. Mason Brody on the drive kicks it out to the corner for three by Sebastian Soriano. Chieftains with the first bucket of the night. Utica working it around the perimeter ends in another corner three, this time from Brody. Chieftains are up 17-3 with 4 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. After one, it's 26-8 Utica. In the second quarter, Mason Brody gets out in transition and lays it in. Chieftains lead it by 22. At the half, Utica would take a 45-22 lead to the locker room. The third quarter saw excellent ball movement by the Chieftains as Soriano skips a pass to Brody and Numini Willie gets an underhand pass that he drains for two. Then Utica works it down to the post where Ali Hassan slams on the brakes and gets the floater to go. Utica with more unselfish play finds Hassan open for three and knocks it down. Not to be outdone, Soriano splashes home a three of his own. Hassan would fire one more from way out this time, but it spins out and Soriano cleans it up. With 1 quarter to play, it's all Chieftains. In the final quarter, Utica would attempt to kill time, but Brody is wide open under the hoop. later, Brody finds Soriano in a crowd and he gets the 2. To finish off the night, Eddie Tomei finds Caston Rissman in the corner and he gets the bench to its feet. One last possession for the Lancers goes without a shot before the buzzer. Utica takes care of Lance Cruz 70-48, improving their record to 4-0. The Utica Chieftains still perfect on the season. That game, one of those several wins so far for them here in 2023. Our final boys game here on this episode saw the Eisenhower Eagles back at home earlier this week taking on Lakeshore. The Eisenhower Eagles were back at home against Lakeshore Monday, December 11th. The opening tip is won by Ike. Braden Booza on the drive drops it off to Hayden Bills, who sinks the 3. Then Randall Rice makes the extra pass to Christian Domofsky for the lay-in. It's 5-3 Eagles. Eisenhower on the break as Booza lobs it for Bills and he rocks the rim. Eagles by 4, middle of the first. Moments later, Preston Crum finds a backdoor cutting Booza. Eagles lead 9-5. Lakeshore with an opportunity at the end of the first is offline, and Eisenhower leads 26-18. To the second as Ike whips the ball around, ending in a Crum 3-pointer. It's 29-21, 2 minutes into the second quarter. Crum this time runs the give and go with Bills and converts. Less than a minute to go in the first half, it's 38-25 Ike. Final seconds of the half ticking down as Booza spins and beats the buzzer. Eagles lead 42-25 at the break. Trey Richardson gets the offensive rebound and kicks it out to Booza for 3 for the first points of the second half. Off of an inbound feed, Eisenhower gets another 3 from Booza, bringing it to 50-25 2 minutes into the third. Crum on the run gets it to fall as Ike continues to roll 52-25. With 3:20 to go in the third, Rice drives the lane and scores. It's 57-28. One final try for the third quarter comes up short, and after 3, it's 60-37. Send the pass from Crum ahead for Bills, who gets fouled and knocks down one free throw. Later in the fourth, Ike tries to kill time, which ends in a layup for Cody Raymond and 1. It's the first basket of the quarter for the Eagles, and Raymond connects on the free throw. Hayden Bills gets on a run here and lays it in with the foul. He hits the free throw and Ike leads 67-51 with a minute left. Final 10 seconds ticking down on Lakeshore as they put up a 3 that rims out. Eisenhower runs out the clock and comes away with the 67-51 win. The Eagles have performed well on their home floor this season. We've already seen 2 victories from them on their home floor. Switching over to the girls' side for both Eisenhower and Utica, the Chieftains just last week hosted the Stevenson Titans on Friday night. The Utica Chieftains girls varsity basketball team hosted the Stevenson Titans Friday, December 8th. The tip is up and controlled by the Chieftains. Quick passing leads to a lay-in by Violet Smith. An Alexis Pokley bucket makes it 4-0 just over a minute in. Stevenson would get a putback basket as the first quarter expires, and we're tied at 6. Utica starts the second quarter with a score from Cameron McConaughey. Then, with less than 3 minutes left in the half, the Chieftains get a free throw line jumper from Pokley. Titans lead 16-13. That wouldn't last, however, as Vanessa Galovich knocks down a deep three-pointer, tying the game at 16 with just over a minute and a half. Stevenson would steal the final inbound pass, but nothing doing. At the half, it's tied at 16. Galovich went off in the second half for Utica, starting with this three-point basket. Moments later, in transition, Galovich hits a layup to put the Chieftains up 2. But Pokley would get an easy 2 of her own and puts Utica up 23-22 with 5:20 to go in the third. Galovich goes galloping down the lane and gets the shot to fall over 2 defenders. Chieftains lead 27-24 with 2 minutes in the quarter. One final heave by Smith comes up short, and we go to the fourth with the Chieftains up 29-24. Galovich assists this three-pointer by Alexis Petruccioli. Galovich on the run again, lays it off glass, and suddenly the Chieftains are back up 4. And how about the move by Galovich here as she splits 2 defenders, putting Utica up 36-35 with 2:35 to play. More from Galovich, just doing it herself with the floater. 38-35 Chieftains with 1:47 to play. Titans had an opportunity to end the game in regulation, but the Chieftains come away with the steal. We head to overtime level at 38. Utica wins the tip to Smith, who wastes no time getting to the rim. At the end of overtime, Smith would try for the game-tying 3 but can't hit, and the Chieftains have to foul. Galovich would put up a desperation 3 as time expires and puts it in, but Utica falls at home in overtime 44-43. The Utica Chieftains with a hard-fought battle falling just short in overtime to the Stevenson Titans. It was a quick turnaround for them as Thursday night they traveled to Eisenhower to take on the Eagles, and Andrew Shelsky has more.
Crosstown rivals facing off as the Utica Chieftains travel to Eisenhower to face the Eagles. Back and forth right at the opening horn. As Vanessa Galovich knocks down 2, right back down the court. Devin Raymond, fast break and 2 for Ike. At the defensive end, Devin Raymond with a block, and Ike leads after 1. 6-2. Start of the second, Sarah Fromm with 2 for the Chieftains. Mariana Stochevsky off the glass and in. Eisenhower in transition. Ava Gocha rolls it off the rim. But Utica lights it up from downtown. Cameron McConkey. Number 25 for the Eisenhower Eagles, Natalia Stochevsky with an easy 2. And at the buzzer, Vanessa Galovich knocks down a fadeaway deuce, and it's Ike 17, Utica 7 at the half. Eisenhower wouldn't let up in the second. Gabriella Gochai with a bucket. And Abigail Claft pitching in for the Eagles. Bella Luigieri knocking down this from 3-lane. Violet Smith with some points off the fast break. Utica getting back into it. Sarah Fromm for 2. Eisenhower answered back with a 2-pointer from Natalia Stochevsky. Sarah Fromm with a long 2-pointer for the Utica Chieftains. And ending the third quarter with another bucket from Cameron McConkey to make it 28-21. Eisenhower still leading. Into the fourth. Tesla Bertoya down low for the Eagles. Filling up the basket for the Utica Chieftains, Violet Smith. Then Devin Raymond adds some points. She was the Eagles' top scorer with 13. Cameron McConkey knocks down back-to-back triples. but too little, too late. Final points for the Eisenhower Eagles. Abigail Claft, and the Eagles take this one. Final score, Eisenhower 40, Utica 34.
Well, there you have it. Some of the highlights from the first few weeks of action for both Eisenhower and Utica basketball as the 2023 season is now underway. On the other side of this break, we'll get to some hockey next.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
Welcome back to the Shelby Sports Show. Switching over from the hardwood to the ice rink as the Eisenhower Eagles hosted Chippewa Valley at Suburban Ice. Zach Hamilla has more.
The Eisenhower Eagles varsity hockey team hosted Chippewa Valley United in a Red Division matchup in the Macomb Area Conference. Starting the season 1-3-1, the Eagles are hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak against a division rival. United would put themselves up on the board early on in the first period, as a turnover by Dylan Rogers would give Carson Schreiner a clear wrist shot past Griffin Curran. Ike would start up their own scoring chances, Jacob Sherritt feeding to Greg Dockin for a shot that is stuffed by Zach Winnington. Turnovers from Rogers would again cost the Eagles. Cameron Stokowski picks off the puck to Kevin Dolney, where a quick scramble in front of the net ensues to put United 2-0 with 7:50 left in the first. Pinned in their zone, the Eagles attempt to clear by riding the boards up to Caden Barrett, who is hammered to the ice by Jake Papiri. Trying to find their name on the board, the Eagles as Brendan Chateau weaves and dekes past the defenders, firing, but stopped by Winnington. In the second, yet another turnover in their own zone from Winston Suterick to Cameron Stokowski would give way to a wraparound in the net, giving United a commanding 3-0 lead. Shortly after, Stokowski would find his second of the night. Dolney along the boards to Stokowski, who gives United 4 unanswered goals. And with that, Ike would pull current and put in junior goaltender Ryan Osupka. Ike would find opportunity for a much-needed scoring chance as a cross-check from Austin Barch put the Eagles on the power play. But a man down wouldn't stop United. Brendan Griffith sourced past Ike's power play unit to slip one between Osupka to make it 5-0 Chippewa Valley. With time ticking down in the second, Ike would finally strike with their first goal of the game. Sherritt sets up Adam Morrison to finally put the Eagles up on the board. The Eagles would carry that energy into the third period, as a stretch pass from Morrison to Sherritt gives him ample space to send it top shelf to shred United's lead down to 3. With less than a minute left in the third, Ike would repeat a crucial stretch pass to Sherritt again to give him his second of the night and the Eagles' third unanswered goal. At 5-3 with 35 seconds left, the Eagles pull their goaltender in hopes to rally with precision to tie what was a lopsided matchup. Despite winning the draw, United would clear up the wing to Carson Schreiner where Stokowski would finish off his hat trick. And with that, United defeats the Eagles 6-3. Eisenhower hopes to round out their stand at home in suburban ice with improvement before they hit the road later this season. This is Zach Camilla, Shelby TV.
Well, so far on the Shelby Sports Show, we've touched on a lot of basketball to begin the show. We saw some hockey highlights there just a moment ago. Also had an opportunity to catch up with the Chieftains and head coach Matt Maruli on the football side to kind of recap their 2023 season. Let's take a sneak peek at how that went. When did you learn about that? How do you necessarily learn about that? And what was the feeling like when you found out that you had made that accomplishment?
I felt like I was really accomplished because that was one of my goals, to make all-region, first team all-region, and just another team, like another all-region team for Coach Maruli and Utica.
But what maybe for you, or even from a team perspective, is maybe one of your favorite moments from this season?
My favorite moments is probably, I would say, week 9 against Farmington. I wasn't able to play in those last seconds because I was hurt, but just watching my guys like persevere and come together, especially to get that win for us to make the playoffs.
I saw, obviously, calling the games this season, getting to watch you on the field. I also saw that your brother got to play alongside you as well in his sophomore year this season. What was it like getting the opportunity to play alongside him this season?
It was just kind of a blessing, I kind of wanted to play with him once before I graduated. So, it's just kind of fun. A lot, I teach him a lot of things, help him learn, so.
What do you hope ultimately is something, if they take maybe one thing away from their time here at Utica, what do you hope that would be?
I think just being able to kind of battle through, adversity and have that perseverance just like this group did. And, whether they have the goal of playing college football or whether they have the goal of, just going to college academically or just going into a career, just kind of learning that, like in football, life is going to be different every day. And, some days are going to be up, some days are going to be down, but just being able to fight through that and hopefully use some of the things that we've learned, throughout their career and throughout their time in the program, to just try and get better every day and try and be better.
Again, that just a sneak peek of those interviews that I did with the Chieftains and head coach Matt Maruli. Chieftains fans can stay tuned for the full show in the coming weeks, both on Shelby TV and our YouTube channel as well. We'll have more sports highlights coming for you in the new year, but until then, have a happy holidays.